Are there any questions and remarks? Or I will start up. Okay, you'll start. It's a parliamentarian from the Progress Party.
Yeah. Thank you very much for a very interesting lecture on these issues. My question is, what about the small and medium-sized businesses? Because probably most of the workers are employed by small and medium-sized businesses. What are your aim or your goal, how to reach out to these businesses?
It's a very good question, and I don't think you can use the same techniques as you would use with the big ones. So at the moment we have a pilot project in which some of our big companies are mentoring and supporting the smaller companies in their geographical region. So Unilever, for example, is in near an industrial park. So they are helping the small companies around them to have access to some of their facilities, to learn from them. So we have I'll call it a mentoring scheme. We don't know whether that will work. We have another scheme where some companies are doing the same with their subcontractors. So that's one way. What we have learned of working with small companies is you can't send things in the post. That's no good. You really have to personalize it for them. What I didn't mention, we do have regional advisors as a result of my report. So we have people in the 10 regions of England and in Scotland and Wales where they are connecting up with the small companies, telling them what is on offer. We've got quite a lot of things free, but the small companies don't know how to access it, and helping them to make the business case. So I think it's hard work. I think it's got to be personalized, and you've got to understand that of the little companies, they may have different needs. So we're doing a piece of work in the Department of Health at the moment. We have a work stream that is trying to bring together all the things that have been found to be helpful with small companies. And we're getting, then eventually we will have a portal of entry of the things, if you like, that have worked. But this is not at all easy, and I'm not going to tell you we've got the right answer, but we have several things ongoing.
Okay, and it's another parliamentarian. That's from the Christian Democrats. Yes?
Yes. How did you make the general practitioners to cooperate? Is this still a challenge for you?
Thank you. That too is a very good question. It is still a challenge. The most important thing to start with was to get the support of their trade union, which is the British Medical Association. So we worked very hard with their GP committee. We've had excellent support from the Royal College of General Practitioners. And so we've used those two bodies. We've provided a national educational program, which is in groups, face-to-face. We've got a lot of e-learning programs. I would say there's a third probably who are resistant at the moment. And so they don't fill the form in properly. We've got probably a third who are really enthusiastic, and we've got the people in the middle. I think this is a 5-year journey. I think we've just got to keep pushing. And we've now got competencies going into all our undergraduate curricula in our medical schools. And I've just got the last Medical Royal College, indeed the surgeons, to put some competencies into their postgraduate programs. So I think you've got to do it in bits. And our General Medical Council, which is our regulator, has also now put it into their publication of what it is to be a good doctor. So I think, but this is not, you can't do this once. You know, I think I've just got to keep, or we've got to keep pushing.
These practitioners who are not so enthusiastic, is it because it's more work for them? In Norway, they have to kind of follow up in a very tight way.
The arguments they put back to us is that they are the patient's advocate, and that therefore if the patient doesn't want to go to work, they will do what and my argument back is it's about the poorest advocacy I have ever seen, because if you're advocating to send someone out of work where they'll have poorer physical and mental health, their children will be affected. This is no advocacy. So they say this is advocacy. They say they've no experience and they've not been trained to consider this in their medical training. We're doing something about that. They say they would like to be paid more because it takes them more time. It doesn't take that much more time. And we've now got a program that shows them how, in the small time they have with the patient, how to fill this form in and to do it. So there's the time factor, the money factor, and there's the factor of never done it this way before. Why should I change? Why, you know, not invented here. So but fortunately, the British Medical Association have been visibly supportive, and so that's been very helpful.
Thank you. And you may post the question in Norwegian also if you want. Yeah, and I will translate it. Yeah.
To which extent do you train the GPs in practical clinical communication with the patients? Because I think that's a crucial point to increase motivation, good relationship, and understanding.
Thank you. All of our postgraduate curricula have now had extra parts put in on communication. But I think one of the things we're now putting into their curricula is communication in this area. Because I think, although we've got a lot on communication generally with patients, there's been no emphasis on a communication about a return to function, the place of work in good health. So that is going into our curricula now. So I think it's a different sort of communication from you know, what we've been doing before.
But that's that's for the young doctors.
Yes.
But all the people who are already
established. We've got the national training program which they can sign up to. They've got 3 e-based learning programs, and the Royal College of General Practitioners, through its regional organisations, is trying to help us to get out there. Once the fit note is electronic, I think we will see a considerable change, because once it's electronic, you can monitor what people are doing and make a difference.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you for a very interesting talk, and my questions relates to the fact that I think we have many of those measures you mentioned in your talk we have implemented in Norway. But to be frankly, I think after 10 years, we don't know if they work or not. Do you have any plans for evaluating the measures you now have implemented?
Yes, I mean, we tendered for companies who wanted to evaluate. The fit note will go through a formal evaluation, and the Fit for Work services. Again, we're having a formal evaluation by the Institute of Economic Studies, of Employment Studies. So we have got both national evaluations, and each of the Fit for Work pilots themselves is having a regional evaluation. It isn't easy of what will you measure in this kind of a problem. But if we're going to ever make that Fit for Work service part of the free offer, we have to show that it will work. So yes, and government is not always as good as it should be at formal evaluation, but we've had a lot of support from a man called David Coggan, who is the president of the Faculty of Occupational Medicine, who's a very good mathematician, as well as being a very good occupational health doctor. So he's put in a lot of advice. So we will see. And we're evaluating also the advice line. So they've all got evaluation. I could, if you were interested, send you what we're doing.